So, jetzt habe ich auch Mike an Lemmo. Ja. Beschreibung ändern. Ah, hi. You're the Telemans guy, right? Who I mean, or is it someone else with similar name? Don't worry, we won the coin flip. Against Striker Tenpai, but that's a different story. But yeah, let's see the first game. So it's probably Ryziel against Memento, I would assume. So it would surprise me if we don't see Babuska. Okay, so this is the classic one-cut combo. The one part I don't like about sending Duo over Detonator is that the next summon you're going to do will be the Detonator, the Do Drive, sorry. And if you have a Veiler or Impermanence, you can throw the Impermanence on the Do Drive, and you cannot make a second one, right? But if you send a Detonator down, you can still make a second Do Drive without using your Fuse Spell Negate, etc. That's why I don't like sending Dual Drive here. Because if you get like Veiler here on summon, it's suddenly awkward now because you lose to like Veiler Ash really hard. That's like the one thing I don't like about this combo. Because usually two hand whips don't matter. I mean, to be fair, like, even if you have 2 hand whips, you just make Baguska, right? But having the trap can be really nice. Because Memento can make SP Little Knight and stuff like this. To try to outwit Baguska. I don't know, like, Miss Yuki asked for being mod, so I just gave him mod. Oh, plugin. So we probably already have Note in hand. I'm personally not the biggest fan of plugin, like I didn't play it myself. Also, another thing is if you're playing against a deck which doesn't use hand traps and you're attaching like a dual drive which you send down, you also don't get to draw, by the way. So if I play against Memento, I wouldn't like even attach on the dual drive, because it doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3 materials, to be honest. And I think that is like a big mistake if you know that you're playing against Memento. Forgot to mention that as well. Oh, he's sending the trap down so that he gets the draw. But that seems a bit troll to me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I would just negate the Meows, I think, because I highly doubt that there will be a Nibiru in this deck. Meows could also mean that this is Mermaids in theory, but I think it's probably just Memento. Okay, but we discarded the trap, right? So we probably, our cards in hand are most likely alive, I would assume. Or are like good cards, right? I mean, this is a shared card pool format, so not every deck gets to play Nip, and usually Nip is like a little bit shared. And this is most likely deck 3, right? And deck 3 usually is Memento or something like this, and they don't really play Nip because they don't have that much non-engine to pair the Nip with. Like, the game is not over yet. There could still be a Book of Eclipse or evenly matched or droplet in the Memento deck. And especially at if you draw like an extra card with Cross and Meows. Seems like we didn't draw any of those cards. So we just scoop to keep the deck hidden basically, but we can make up what the deck is by looking at the other games. Oh no, we missed the Malice combo. What a bummer. Should we restart and watch the combo? Okay, well, I mean, because you asked, we actually watch the Malice combo now. But first, let's look at what these guys are playing. But I think it's Ryziel from Bank 1W. I played against him in the Challenger Cup the other day, and he was on Crow in his Ryziel and his standby deck. Okay, so let's have a look at the Malice combo. I mean, I think the cross on Upstart was good in this case because based on the other decks of players, you can know that there's probably no nip. And every other hand would have been thrown already at this point. So it's technically very risky, but because it's World Format, it's quite a bit less risky. Because this is not like blind matchup, right? the DD Crow, while not doing all that much, is still pretty annoying. Because you technically don't have a loser, right? So you would be scared a little bit of Nibiru with a primal being here. So I'll probably tell himself, okay, I have like 7 cards in hand, I have Maxi, I have Appaloosa, that should be enough. Oh damn, this is Blue Eyes. I think all screens with Primate. Did we just pay 900 for called by Red Ransom? That's crazy. But yeah, the Drill Beam went hard here. Didn't thought we would actually get the game now, and yeah, I don't really see the reason to pay the 900. It's not like you chain block to play around Impulse against like Primate, right? No, Primate Scream would be very annoying for Melis. Primate Scream is basically a trap you can search instead of Drill Beam, which is like a solemn. The real question is this like an anti-Malice? Probably not, right, with like DD Crow. So is this like blue Eyes or is this like Fiends with Control? I'm not sure. So he attacks with Barrel here now. I assume it's to make it a little bit more awkward for this guy to use like Medicine the Mirror or MTP with Banishing. Okay, to be fair, that makes sense, but yeah, I mean it makes sense for sure, yeah. You would have searched for Raw unless you have it already in hand. And if you had it in hand, would you have used it before? Maybe. Okay, so it's probably Blue Eyes, yeah. I wonder what else we have in hand. It's probably non-engine, right? Otherwise you would have went for the field spell and stuff like this. Or like Typhon. I'm not sure what's in his hand. Like he definitely wants to follow up with Primates, that's why he sent the Barrel and Blue Eyes down. I don't know how realistic that is. There's probably another Blue Eyes or Primate card, which probably was already revealed with the last Drill Beam, but which I didn't see. There's another Drill Beam and one more unknown card, right? So it's probably like just over here, I think. I mean, what single non-engine paired with Drill Beam can win here, right? I feel like it's very easy for Malice to threaten to Otika. Why did we make this one not linked? Here's like a dual beam, right? So if we link it, we could still banish the Lodi Load, but maybe we don't want to banish the Lodi Load in case if it's. I mean, you could still banish the dual beam anyways, right? So I mean, this also got banished, so I'm not really sure why we kept this on the field. Maybe because of the high attack points? I don't know, I'm a little bit confused to be honest. I think we always banish the beam. I don't see any point of banishing the load. Just place into, I don't know, random Fuwa loss. We don't know any other follow-up cards, right? So if this is like a Ghost Bell last card, does this in a little bit into stuff? Or not? Okay, at this point the game is probably over. Let's assume worst case it's Nibiru, it should still be easy to set up way too much through it. I kinda don't like what the men's player is doing here. I mean, he just has to beat like one unknown card, right? So it could have been very easy, I think, to make it way cleaner, to play around everything. I mean, it most likely will not matter, but I don't really like it. Why are we not banishing like, these cards? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because there's nothing, but like, let's imagine there is like a random nip now and you don't have any extender. Like, it feels like a little bit of unnecessary risk of doing that. But even if there's like no chance that Melis loses. But yeah, it's 2-0 for SKS now. Let's see how the third game went, but I think the rate and trade was comboing here. I don't think you guys want to see another Melis combo, right? We will see enough of that today, I think. Oh, why is there the stun card? I just saw, yeah, he let me enter the results. So it's 1 and 2. Also because this is also here, this is not like words, you can like actually like save the replay and look at your opponent's game, right? So hiding the deck doesn't even do anything. Because you can just look for opponent's deck list after the game. Okay, so we saw Malice and Gryziel, so that means deck 3 was Tiger Shark's opponent, right? So this will be like a combo mirror on table 3. Is there any game you want to watch? Malice vs Gryziel or not Malice vs Gryziel? Oh wait, Joshua Schmidt could be on Ryzel, right? Because Bank was on Blue Eyes. And Tiger Shark was on Malice, so Ryzel is left open. And maybe it was just second deck in like first round. I wanna see if it's actually Ryzel or not. Maybe it's like Ryzel Memento or something like this. Let's have a look at that. Now the question is this done again? I think he was on stun, right? So maybe he didn't brick after all. Maybe he just didn't brick. This could also be a bluff battle phase, right? If you play against Labyrinth or something like this. I often like to go battle phase, end of battle phase, because they're inclined to use some of the welcome labyrinths. And then you get like less interrupts sometimes. But yeah, this is just a real evenly. Which makes sense, right? Because we have seen Meowls in 2 other entrap decks, right? So this is either like Board Breaker, Solemn Ryziel, or this is Memento. But I would assume it's probably Board Breaker Ryziel, right? With like Solemns. Probably built to win like the mirror match, I would assume. No, Rivalry of Warlords or something. Oh, this is Memento. Oh, this looks like a Solemn Strike, right? Because there's a summon response window on the summon, right? Because usually, like if you summon a monster, this one goes to 0, right? But if you have a Solemn, yeah, then it waits because it's still summon response window, so it doesn't go to 0. Damn. So, the stun player is getting punished for queuing a cringe deck. I wonder what the cards in hand could actually be, right? Like what would you like not set in a stun deck? Nor normal summon if you have like a Solemn. For Super Poly? Oh yeah, that could be a thing, right? Like a stun played Super Poly and against Memento it's pretty good, yeah, that makes sense. Because you can play Creation King and Twin Dragon, because I need Memento monsters. I mean, I don't think it's like that crazy good, but it could make sense. But why would you keep 2 cards, right? Like what bad cards could you have in hand which you like don't use? Like a Barrier Statue, a Pachi. Like you would keep 2 Super Poly. That could make sense. Like what else could there be? Maybe it's like this ATK modulation spell. I don't know how it's called, but which makes your stuff like 4000 attack. I mean, you can play around Super Poly very easily, right? Like if you know you're playing against stun, like I would just make an access code talker. And I would make a Creation King on my board, right? Like, while what's the punish to that, right? Like, Barrier Statue doesn't out it. Like, we cannot make a Typhon under their stun cards, you know? And we only have like 2 back rolls, right? So I can just use Creation King in end phase to destroy stuff. And then you're now playing the Super Poly. Like against stun, you don't need like most of your end board. Like you just have to do the bare minimum. Like I want like a Dark Belt in my hand for like the following turn, with like a memento in hand, you know, because that can force out one floodgate. I want Creation King on the board to to deal with back row. And I probably want the spell setup so that I can, in the end phase, like activate the quick spell, summon like 2 memento monsters out, and then destroy the 2 memento monsters with 2 back row cards, right? Something like this I would want to try, and I want to have like an access code talker on the field, because stun has problems dealing with like access code talker, and if you have access code talker starting your turn, it's already awkward, because if they don't immediately deal with it, then you can just remove it, and if they flip something up, like a rivalry, it doesn't matter to you, right? And you just win with the access code talker. This is how I would probably approach it. The only awkward thing is if it would not be stun, right? But in that case, it would have clicked. So, but yeah, against stun, you play very differently from like other decks, because stun is like very bad at doing stuff. So you want to be able to set up monsters and play around like the steal spell, or like I don't know, like what do they even play these days? Back in the day they played Dogmatica Trap, like Super Poly, like damage modifiers, Super Poly, you know, like these type of cards. Like the 11th version used like Ice Dragon Prison, Daruma, Rivalry, you know. You just try to avoid these cards. And yeah, I've played against too much stun to like know these cards. Basically, in like 2024 in the TCG, there was like a format where Snake Eye was like the best deck. Ubel and Tenpai were also viable. And if you didn't want to buy the Fiendsmith cards, many people just bought like stun cards. Because I think the Tenpai, the Trident Dragon was like $100 or some shit. So not everyone wanted to pay that much for like a card. So people played like literally runic stun, because Snake Eye wasn't like the best deck equipped to deal with that. So there was a lot of like level stun and runic stun running around, and you had to play the format without any back row removals, right? So you needed like all the little tricks, like Fenrir goes over yourself to out like skill drains, cross out the skill drains, you know, like all of these things. Or understand like how you beat like level stun. Ash Blossom? Huh? Is this not a stun deck after all? Is this maybe just a weird Crystron deck where they played the card? Or does this guy just not know how to build a stun deck? Well, you just wanted to make the Typhon win rate like 0.1% lower. Like most of the stun cards like SRs. And why did you want to mix the stun deck? I'm not even sure if I would allow my opponent to make the Typhon to begin with. Maybe I would have just stolen the Ash Blossom or something like this. Like, do we really believe this is like a real deck which plays like Talents and Trust? I don't think so, right? So I would have just stolen the Ash. And just get the monster up. I played a little bit into Super Poly, but if it's like Super Poly, has nothing, right? It's just one monster and you just win, so... Ah, I see. Yeah, Labyrinth Stun was like really annoying. It also was like viable in one of the DC cups where Robin Hansen won, right? I think it was a really good pick. It had like the highest win rate, I think, from all the decks. But what are these cool cards in hand, right? That's what Polly would have maybe used or said. So I'm really unsure what is in the hand. Maybe it's just random hand traps which Standard for some reason plays. Who knows? Like Abumod played it a bit, like good fast him, I guess. So now it's time to watch. I want to watch the Blue Eyes deck. Afterwards we can watch the Melis combo again if you want. But I don't want to. Is this, now is the question, is this Primate Ryziel? But I don't think it's Primate Ryziel. I think the Primate Ryziel played like this Turtles. Like this Water Turtles. So it's probably playing Ryziel and Blue Eyes. So in the Blue Eyes deck there are probably Solids and stuff, I would assume, to beat like Temper Striker, right? So the Blue Eyes deck queues against what exactly? Against... I mean, Blue Eyes usually play against bad decks, right? So you probably queue it against Memento? Oh, it's a Rising Mirror, there's a Baguska. How fun. Oh, that means our match is a Menace Mirror match. Oh man, I already forgot what was in the set. But I think... but yeah, I think this is like the only Lysis left. So I think this guy's just... Oh, this is like trolling, by the way. Because if you summon the thing in attack position, like you still get to search. Because Baguska checks if the thing was in defense. And that's right, so you should have just summoned it on rest. Like, I don't really see why we... this. I mean, it doesn't make a difference, right? Because it still has a trap. But yeah, no, like it's just Rising Mirrors, right? Like, there's not a lot you can do. Like, he had the incomes on his deck, right? So Melis is like a little bit weaker. But he is able to out the Baguska, but in the end it didn't really matter. Because, yeah, like you just took out one of the outs and then the second one you beat with a plugin. Me personally, like I wouldn't have had Plasma plugin, so I would have needed to win via, you know, like actual Ryziel means. But I think it should have been fine because we had 5 pops against 6 names, so it could have been possible too. But yeah, like I feel like Ben made himself a little bit too much of a headache now. Like it's still fine, you know, like he's still probably winning, but now he has to like think about stuff. Oh yeah, I heard about the Crook deck too, but I never seen it. Is it like is it just Ryziel with like the Shark engine? Oh no, Ben. Hope you have enough Ryziels left in your deck. But he seems like someone who would Utopia double his opponent. So I'm not too worried. But I feel like we should have never got to the game this far, right? Like I would have like not let my opponent search cards and just destroy the level 4 monsters to just avoid this kind of stuff. Because realistically, right, like if you destroy all the level 4 monsters, you have like a Baguska there. Like what's the worst thing you should have? talents to take. Like with Balguska or something that turn, right? So that doesn't do anything. Like talents to draw to, even if it's like, I don't know, like Node and Ice, you still would like win as well as a player. I would assume Ben doesn't play two aggregators, right? Because he's probably playing the Rafflesia or he's playing some weird tech cards for sure. So I don't think he has two aggregator. So, like, if the SKS member, like, true. Okay, so we don't have guaranteed follow-up. So we could unironically lose this game because I think we know Ice Rising in the SKS end. Okay, never. Never worried. But I feel like this game should have been never this close. Like, let's imagine it would be Ash Blossom last card, right? And like Ash on talents to draw, and then randomly Ice Rise you wins. But it's still fine. I mean, that happens. Let's see. Let's see the Malice Mirror match. I wonder who won the coin flip. But to be fair, Malice Mirror match is probably better than Rising Mirror match. Oh, this is like the Nash deck. And I think it's crazy that no one is on Nip, right? Like, you have to have 3 Nips shedding your deck, I feel like. I think Nip is like so good. Like let's imagine like we had like 1 Nibiru in some of these games. Like, I think it could have done a whole lot. Now the minigame, do we play Cerberus? We do play Cerberus. Yeah, same. Like, people can play somewhat around it if you know that they are, but this rising lines you have to do like really awkward. So Nip usually performs really well with other hand traps, so I really like it. Should we have banished something else? Maybe we should have. Let me think. I don't think we should have maybe we should have banished the TV11 from our graveyard to get the 3k buff maybe at some point. Yeah. Like, sometimes you're not playing this exact line though, right? What also is the case sometimes is that like, if you have like a better hand, like, you don't go for this line, but you go for dual drive with 3 materials. And then you summon like a Star Riser, which you can search with Sword instead of Ice, right? And then if you have like a Fuvalos or something, then this can work. Like, it always depends a little bit on what you have in hand. Sometimes you have to do like a bit of scuff lines, and even if you get like hand trap multiple times, like for example you make like a dual drive, you get hand trap on it, then you summon Star, and you detach 1, and then you still get like the Baguska dual drive set up through a hand trap and a nip proof in the mirror match, which can be like really good, especially if they don't play imperm. So this was a 3-0 for rate and trade this round, so let me update the score. So it's 4-2 now. So 1 more win and rate and trade has this round secured. And yeah, like, some of the games were really nice here. like not always watch full Melis combo and lose. Sometimes some interesting decks, even if they didn't really win all the time. But I'm still confused what the stun cards were in the hand. Can we look at the hand from here? Should, right? Oh, I see what happened. Oh, it wasn't a stun deck after all. Do they even play free Kashtira Birth in Kashtira anymore? Don't feel it. That was wild. I did not expect free Kashtira Birth in that end. To be fair, I haven't seen that guy use any Kashtira cards so far. I did not expect that. Now it makes sense why there's an Ash person in the deck. Okay, I wanna watch Ben now. Like his decks are the most interesting ones. Like the blue eyes. Like crazy is like very boring, but yeah. Okay, let's go, blue eyes. Probably no Primate access, like maybe he has hard drawn Drill Beam, like we've seen him play multiples, right? I really hate hand trapping with Link 1. Like I really don't understand it, because like you basically get full combo anyway, right? So this is like completely wasted, I feel like. Yeah, I also always hit with Sage. They were just super wasted. Like usually, like if you hit the Link 1, it's usually because if they start with like Barrel and your hand is like really custom and you don't really care about the Drill Beam at all. For example, if you're playing Malice in a 3-cut combo, then you can consider, right, hand trapping the Link 1 so that they are not able to normal like the Sage. But yeah, no, like this Veiler on the Link 1 feels like really fake. Yeah, obviously Veiler doesn't do anything to this hand, right? If they have a spell anyway. Obviously it doesn't do anything. But you don't know that they don't have that, right? You only know that they don't really have Primate cards apart from Drill Beam. So hand trapping the Sage basically plays into less cards than hand trapping the Link 1. Yeah, exactly, right? Okay, in this case it would have not mattered, right? Because you had like every engine card in hand. And if you would have Veilered the Sage, you would have like normal another Sage. So it didn't really matter in this instance, but I think in there's way more upside of hand trapping the Sage over hand trapping the Link 1 in many scenarios. Like it's not even Prey, right? Because if they normal the Sage and you Veiler it, what is like the punish, right? Like if they have Maiden of White in hand anyway, like they always play through the Veiler regardless, right? So it doesn't really do anything. And if you hand trap the Sage, you at least stop effect Veiler, right? So you trade the Veiler for Veiler, which is not good, but at least it's something. But if you hand trap the Link 1, they basically still set up like everything. And especially if you play a deck like Kashtira or what was this guy playing again? I think he was with Ryzel guy. But yeah, like even if you like the Ryzel guy, right? Like Veiler and like Destroy's trap, like PCU. But yeah, I mean it makes sense, right? Like everyone should play Nips. Somewhere. But I'm asking myself, was it like really needed to throw the Vela? Maybe, I don't know. But the view was like really strong here. Do we know the last card in hand? Did he use the spell? Oh yeah, the spell got negated, so we don't know it, right? Or does he play the level 12 Snake Eye Dragon? This is a real question. What's also funny is if you make the level 12 dragon, you can also target opponent's monsters to take out. It was like really relevant in like Centurion Mirror. Basically you hand trap like the Auxilla and then you just made Crimson Dragon hard and then you just got your Crimson Dragon out. It was like really strong in that matchup. Because Crimson was like really good, because if you stop like Centurion, like they only had that much follow-up, right? And then you just beat them like really hard. Especially because in your main phase, the Crimson Dragon comes always back as like a branded card, right? So you can resolve it, like negate something again, bring it back, and resolve it again before your opponent can resolve something himself. So you stop playing like entire branded in phase, for example, in your turn. And something similar you can do that too. Okay, but the thing is, I'm not sure if the Blue Eyes deck has an SP Little Knight, right? Because you only have 3 SPs in your 6 decks. And Blue Eyes can very much like not play SP Little Knight. Right, so I wouldn't wonder if they don't play it. You have a pop one, right? So it doesn't really matter. So you probably have to. I mean, you cannot make Azalea because this locks you into dragons. Like if you destroy the fuel spell, you just lose, right? So you kind of have to destroy the true light. And you cannot really protect the true light beforehand. I feel like, because you need to activate Maiden to get Maiden on the field, right? So. What would you? I mean, if you let this go, like you can negate the true light, but it doesn't destroy the field. So you're probably in a losing position. But yeah, I don't think you can really play around it anyways, right? They flip into Azalea, then Maiden into true light. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. He probably assumes this could be like a Ash or Vela, right? So he just wants to set up in a way that he wins the grind game, I would assume. Because he doesn't really care too much. Like if the trap destroys True Light, he chains True Light and sets like a spell. Or he just a Spirit Beam. But were you not supposed to activate the trap in chain to the Blue Eye summon maybe? To play around exactly that? I mean, in that case, the Maiden Reborn wouldn't have been a thing, but yeah. I mean, that makes sense, right? The Duel Beam was really strong here. Technically, we can just. Oh, this is not a trap. The real question is, do we play around like his nip? Because if we have like a hand trap in hand, we could just consider passing with like the trap and stuff. I mean, you could just go battle phase here and say end of main. And if it's like a nip, you can set the trap. And if he nips you, you can go for the spell, right? That is technically an option you have. I'm not sure if it's correct or not. I've not played enough blue eyes. Basically, I've played no blue eyes. Right, so. I don't know if I would like to set in the main phase. That means probably the card in neither sense is pretty bad, right? Like if you had like a real hand trap, you would just have the trap and shield on it, I would assume, personally. But it's probably like a bad card. Okay, thumbs up on that card. But yeah, the card in the mirror match is not the greatest, but it's not bad, right? I mean, he still has his maiden already in rotation and stuff, but like if you are one with, I mean, it doesn't really do too much in this wrestler. We are not locked into dragons. Yeah, it really is not good in these situations. By the way, we are not locked into dragons, right? So we can just make a Baron. Like Baron. And force out like the True Light and then take out into this again in Fury. Just because I like seeing skill in my Ivy doesn't mean I don't like it. I like it in general. It was fun because my opponent lost to it, right? But it wouldn't be fun if my opponent activates the card. Actually, like, you could just. Like here the question is, do you just negate the True Light and take it out into the level 9? Or do you just barrel negate an opponent's turn, because there's like nothing relevant anymore, which you can search with it? I mean, having a Baron in simplified game set is usually pretty good, right? So, should be fine. You just have to make sure that you don't lose to Typhon, but should usually not be the case. What do you mean? Wait. What is the line with the Lightstorm takeout? Did we just... How would you have done that? Okay. Oh, so you destroy True Light and your True Light? Then you would get destroyed. Oh, that's smart actually. That's smart actually. Wait. Does it even work? I don't like how we played this. Like, I would have not activated. I mean, the thing is... yeah, it never matters, right? But it makes it very easy to like negate like the card which takes 2 away. Yeah, so the set goes to rate and trade. Yeah, so this game we haven't solved. But even he was pretty evil. Yeah, the biggest downside of Blue Eyes in a format like this is that it takes a lot of non-engine, and Riser and Memento both also take a lot of non-engine. So that can be a bit awkward, right? So this Riser deck has to play with like evenly Lance, that kind of stuff, right? And Memento just takes like like what Book of Eclipse. But yeah, this game is when you draw the one of Lance, yeah, evenly your metal support with like multiple set cards. Yeah, without shared cards, I think Fields of Control would be like really good. Like I think the deck is probably on par with Rizel, if not even better, low key. What do you mean right and trade won the first round, no? Is it? Am I stupid? I mean, Red and Trade won. I don't know if it's 5-4 or 6-3. Maybe I miscounted, but it's correct in the end anyway. I was just ahead, trust. I just had confidence that he wins, you know. Yeah, I would never miscount. But yeah, now we are waiting for them to swap like positions and stuff. I guess we can look at this game. Oh yeah, the anti-Fiendsmith, the anti-Menace Fiendsmith deck, yeah. Sorry, I'm back. I went to the toilet. Oh, it's the snake deck again. Here we send Jet Synchron away. That means you probably have like a good normal summon or something like Lancia plus something else in the end. Which you don't want to get rid of. Oh, are we not going for Zombie Vampire? That's odd. I don't like this combo here. Like, it kinda plays into Nip, right? It looks like it doesn't play into Nip instantly, but it kinda does play into Nip later on the line. Because you're not getting into like a full board without committing into Nip from here. So I'm not the biggest fan of this line. And now he's probably thinking, what if he has the one of Nip in hand, right? Do I commit for a full board and play into Impulse, or do I lose to Nip? And you probably just say, okay, I'd rather lose to Nip. Oh, where's Magnamut in the Snake deck? I mean, I guess it's for the branded matchup or something, I don't know. I mean, so I guess you played against Malice and branded, but I don't think Wraith and Trade has like like a brandy, right? So I don't really understand it. Okay, so technically this is combo, but this goes without Promethean Princess, right? And like no Flumberg in the notation yet. So it technically played it around Nip, but the board is bad. But to be honest, against Malice it's fine, right? Because they don't typically play board breakers and they don't really do anything going second anyway, right? So it should be okay. But it just feels very scuffed. Yeah, we're going down quite a lot of hand cards. So we pass on one card in hand. And we still lose to like Nip Vela. But the chance of Vela is like low, right? Because it's a Lure stack. I mean, it's a scuff, it was very scuffed, but at least it ended where it's supposed to end, right? Yeah, he did normal summon, yeah. Like he pitched Jet instead of like normaling it. Like if you go for this line, I think this was just incorrect, right? I don't see a point where you just don't throw away with Rule Swarm. You just go for the normal combo and end on the same thing with Jet in the grave. Also, I'm not a fan of making like performance in these situations against like a deck like Malice. Okay, now we just hardcore lose to Nip Vela. Like you don't even get like Flumberg we summon. I don't think there's any world where we negate this with Desiree. Like you can negate in the banish pile with Apo, that's like way better. Because if you use Desiree like here, you just play into challenge so hard for no reason. I would even consider just letting this through because it doesn't matter. Because what does the White Rabbit do realistically, right? But it makes sense to just negate it to make it simpler to beat. Here I would consider, like if Malice doesn't play Droplet, to just banish the Dormouse here straight up. He needs to summon the Snake Eye Ash out because only one fire engrave, right? I disagree with this too. I rather have him have some more attack points, but negate the thing in the banish personally. Because if he for somehow manage with like Bestial, Board Breaker, everything, manage to like break your board apart, if he only has like one Malice name in banish pile, it's easier to beat it, I feel like. Personally, especially if your Palooza is like protected, right? So I really don't see the point of like not giving him 600 attack points on his melee monsters. I don't really care if they're like slightly buffed. But yeah, in the end it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, the games are all over. It's 2-1 for SKS. So 1. And this is 2. But yeah, I disagree with some of the interruptions, but it wasn't like super horrible played, right? Like you still played around talents and these kind of cards quite well. But I think it could have been slightly optimized. Oh look, Rising Mirror, how much fun. I think, do we just go for the Otica here? I think so, right? Just be careful to not jump like a light or dark monster in the grave. I don't even care about this set. Yeah, okay, like nothing you can do, right? You win the Rising Mirror coin toss and you brick. That's just unfortunate. Like very unfortunate. Because usually like if you win the top, like if you had like one starter, like you would have just completely won. Yeah. With this game. Yeah, that is true. Like, I mean in general, Ryzel doesn't really play too much of like Nibiros and stuff. Well, I did, but most people didn't. Wait, we had Ash, but we didn't Ash for Born Party? That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. I'm not yeah. Book of Eclipse against Kashtira is pretty good. And that's like the big disadvantage if you're playing like a bad deck. Like you just lose to like so you know, like you can just not do anything. That was like the hardest fought win ever. I'ma be real. Okay, let's go into the next step. I mean, yeah, like if you're playing a Kashtira deck and you like, I don't really understand this Kashtira deck, to be honest. It's not even that good against like the meta decks, to be honest. Sure, Malice will lose most likely going second, but still. Is it Blue Eyes Mirror again? Or do we play Ryziel into Blue Eyes? Which would make a lot of sense, to be honest. Hello. Okay, so this is a no Blue Eyes card hand. Or you read a toggle. That is also a thing which technically could be a thing, right? Because if you know he has no Blue Eyes card, you would Ash this, right? But if you see an Ash toggle, then you could bait this out and then activate the quick spell, afterwards. It's very risky to do, but technically it's possible. It's definitely a thing I was scared about a lot of times when I played against Blue Eyes, that I just try to like bait my Ash out like this. Never happened that they baited it out, but you know, like you always get a little bit that you get like outplayed. But yeah, this is probably just a Blue Eyes pass turn, because it didn't have Blue Eyes cards. Okay, summon Blue Eyes from hand. This DD Crow is like really huge. If it resolves and there's like no other Blue Eyes mutation. Do we see a Blue Eyes from hand? Oh, we actually do see a Blue Eyes from hand. I mean, it wasn't that unlikely, right? Because you don't see any Blue Eyes cards. There's a lot of the bricks are not in the hand, so kinda words are quite good for it. It's either hand traps or the Blue Eyes. What will do? I would never drill beam this, to be honest. Like if this is a Blue Eyes Mirror and you just have like a 2-card combo, you just win, right? I would have built this one. Oh, okay. Never mind. He's just too good. To be fair, it was predictable, right, that he had to have hand traps. Oh, it was another DD Crow. But okay, he banished the barrel out. I mean, it makes sense to do it in his own turn to play around top deck called by. Or like a potential thrust which will never be in the Blue Eyes deck. That is a good card. It's a card good against the non-engine. It has a reaction window, right? So if this resolves, it's probably probably like not a good hand trap. If I had Vela, I would just Vela this instantly, right? No, if I had Vela, I would have made Vela in single 9. Right? mean, the chance that he draws like a blue eyes card or like a primate card isn't that low, right? Like he went through more non-engine than engine at this point. Yeah, barrel is like really strong. Because this way you can like summon a blue eyes, banish his second blue eyes out of the game and reset like your drill beam, right? This is like really powerful. And he cannot crow here because he used Purge. That stops him from using crow. Oh yeah, true, drill beam cannot banish because that's a negate. Yeah, you're right. that is true. This card does not have an effect. Oh, that reminds me of like a friend who played Rick at some point. His Loki got like impumped once. And he was like, bro, you cannot impump Loki. That's a vanilla. Oh man, I remember like the Lancia drill beam interaction actually. Because if you Lancia, like the drill beam perma negates, doesn't banish. Like you, yeah, it's really scuffed, yeah. Because it negates and then banishes, yeah. And it just perma negates. Because, you know, like the game doesn't really think, because the card is not really designed to negate a card without banishing it, right? Oh yeah, this is quite awkward because you can just attack into it. So if you draw into like engine, like it can be very awkward here. These blue eyes mirrors are way more fun than than a rising mirror. Like. To be fair, I never played blue eyes myself, but I can see why it's fun. If you're wondering why he discards the Ash, it's like not alive anymore, because he used Purge. The only problem with blue eyes is if you play against like Ryziel going second. Like, if you have 3 hand traps, your 2 best engine pushes and draw like a third engine card for turn, you still lose, right? Which is a bit awkward for like blue eyes. And Malice also kinda just doesn't really care about hand traps too much at some point. But sometimes Purge you can sack Malice with if they go like this 1-card combo style, where we make like Apollousa and banish like Mirror. I mean, yeah. I understand that you like Nibiru. The card is really chill. Bro was in my thinking tank, you know, and it's like, bro, you're hard winning anyway. Just get me out of here. To be fair, it's like when you're a Menace player thinking, how do I beat Nibiru, Veiler, Imperm at the same time and you don't have any hand trap? And you're like, it's okay bro, you won. And that's how it felt. He was just out of there. I'm thinking right now. Did we hit? No, no, it doesn't work. I was thinking about just making the lights from the dragon and destroying like your own true light to set up like a back row card to like beat a one card combo at that point. But I don't think he had like a perch or something in grave. So I don't think he could do anything about it. Okay, so we're playing Fiend's Mill against. Did Melis brick? Or how did we get into this turn 4? Yeah, I don't see any Melis cards, so you can do. I understand what was going on here. I don't know if I like it though. Basically, he wanted to activate Lacrima and Requiem to bait out a Bestial, to ballot and then draw one card. But it kind of played into the Metalltronus. Oh, okay. Often Grave was banished? Oh yeah, nice. Oh, the good question is, do we play Doom Dragon? Because this is not Exceed summoned, right? So this doesn't negate anything. Technically, he could activate Baldric here, Tribute with Ruiz, to force this to take out, to send the Fiendsmith card down, and then like the top deck would win, right? This is technically a consideration to play around SP paths from Josh's side. Because if you do nothing here, like you can make a big monster, run over the Baldric, and you can make this like pretty big, run over Baldric. Then you can put the Druid Swarm in the spell trap zone and like banish the Typhon and pass with SP plus Paradise, which is not easy to beat for the Malice deck. So I would have probably considered to waste like my my Druid Swarm, because in that case I would have at least 2 monsters, so I would just always win, right? So I think it was a little bit of a mistake. Or maybe they saw that he doesn't play what's called Snake Doom Dragon in his deck. It could be a thing. But yeah, like if there's like a Snake Doom Dragon here, like I think Joss is in a very good position actually. Because beating SP plus Paradise at the same time is pretty hard, right? Because how you beat Paradise is by getting into a link 3 with skipping the link 2. But it's really hard to skip the link 2 if you have SP on the board, right? If you make like a link decoder and like you take out the link decoder and suddenly it's 2 monsters, right? And 2 monsters, they only get through a link 2 to get into link 3. And you just send down the splash. Oh, we don't play Doom Dragon. Yeah, it's okay, no, this game is over. Unfortunate. Oh, did we equip all the Light Fiends? No, there's one Light Fiend left. I'm not sure if we should have equipped all 3 in that case. Would have been happy with just 2, because it would still be over everything Malice can summon, and you would have 2 Light Fiends in the grave, in case they have like a Bestial and like the field spell starter, right? And technically, like if they have nothing, we could resummon like a Light Fiend, right? So I think for like separate reason I would have not equipped the sequence. Like, because then in Endphase you could have summoned like the sequence back. And then we get into more stuff. Or like that. But Ragnar I would keep, right, because of the bricks. Like the Requiem or the Lacrima I would have preferred on my board. personally. Oh, Malice Brick again. So this is pretty over now, right? Because you cannot target this Lacrima and it does over 2000 damage to this Typhon. And this guy is on like 2000 life points, so this one Lacrima just randomly wins the game. Yeah, and like you cannot even like imperm, right? Like you probably put like an imperm in bottom lane column, it was like haha, he will burn himself, but there's like no monster you can imperm. But yeah, I mean, I kinda understand now why he didn't resummon like his stuff with Lacrima, to be honest. I would have, yeah, I couldn't have finished the game at that point. Yeah, makes sense kinda. And how did the other guy? So it's 2 wins for Rate and Trade and 1 for SKS. So it's 3 and 3, right? Oh man. Ah, he wanted to counter the Malice deck with 10 by. And then he gets hand looped. Nice 1-card starter without 10 cards. I mean, they are definitely not out, right? Like, if they win 2 matches, 2 out of 3 games here, they are basically even already. So it could be either player's game. Here they had Dragoons back so that they can pitch it, search again. Here we don't summon to like hand loop more cards, basically. Yeah, Gaios is also really good against the Monel deck. Because it can, like it stops like high level monsters from attacking. And that's like a Dark Ruler basically as a quick effect. Oh, we didn't use Missile effect in the field. I don't know why we didn't use it. Like it can just go randomly plus and like recycle like a Dragoons. I think I always do that. And yeah, here we know the cards and then it's just over, yeah. I mean, that's just life, right? Like you queue your deck with no hand traps and then you get like hand loop for so that happens. So do we actually watch like a Tiger Shark game now for once, this first deck? Oh no, he's standing by too long. Oh, no, right. Nah, it was not possible. Like you still have Seal's Pass set up from Vernal, where you have like a prince which you discard to have to summon like a Poseidon, bounce a card, destroy a card, right? So let's say worst case he had like like summon the Chundra and something else. You target the Chundra, you synchros off, you send infantry down, and then infantry targets the level 7. Then you need to synchro summon again, right? Because you have like no attacks yet. Then you have like the synchro 10 on board, but you cannot attack because of Abyss Gaius, right? So it's pretty chill, and you cannot attack over the Link 2 before you make the synchro 10, because otherwise you just summon a barrier statue. And the barrier statue is like buffed for like 500. So it was pretty hard actually to win from there, I feel like. Because there was like another interruption next to the Gaius, right? Like a synchro monster, right? Or am I capping? But I think there was probably like, I don't know, like a crocodile or something. Oh, then I think the combo was misplayed. Like when I do like the one card combo, like I had like a Dragite or like the Crocodile. And then he was like missing like an interrupt. Like when you hand loop for 4, like you should get like the synchro 10 or something. Yeah, there should be something more, I think. But he was not playing Silicant, right? He was playing without Silicant. Or was he? No, there was a Silicant. But there was a brick for the Silicant too. Or was there no brick? Okay, so yeah, so he just missed like an endport piece actually. But yeah, like the Sky Striker deck can win against the Temper deck can win against the Mermaid deck if they draw like engage last card and get advantages from there. Because the interrupt the Mermaid deck can set up is actually limited. So if you are like engage plus like a 10 by name, like you can randomly just win. Like it's not trivial, right? Because you have to play around the Link 2. Because you cannot attack over it. You have to play around like Poseidra coming from the graveyard. And some other stuff, right? So it can be quite awkward. The blue has got max hit. So he just didn't really want to combo. Like Tiger Shark rigged, I think. No, it was the blue eyes who started. But yeah, he got like max hit on the stage. Then he banished like blue eyes in the end phase, and now he just normals the Dormouse. And suddenly the game is just over. Is the shared card like imperm from SKS, or is it just called by? And if you have like a Bestial, it's just game, right? Because you just make Link 1 and activate Bestial on like the Boundless Maiden. Because he's only on 4k life points because of Puri Rise map. So he's probably thinking about using the trap here, but he just dies every time if there's something. Oh yeah, the trap is might not even be alive actually, because the blue eyes is gone. So this game is probably just over, I think. Yeah, no Kolpa on the mouse, it's just... I mean, even if it's Nip, it doesn't matter, right? Because you just beat the Nibiru, because the Duel Swarm was summoned in the end phase, so it didn't got summoned this turn. So this is just not summon number 4. And if you just make a ransom here or anything, it's just game over. I mean, you can just go battle phase in 4 summons, right? This is probably the easiest. Because it's even game if he has the trap alive, right? Because it's like 4-3 damage, and he can contest the trap, so it's kinda scuffed. like the best case, what could happen is if it's a blue eyes in the hand, he impulse the link Oribo, activates the trap, removes one body, but then he just gets full combo and it's the blue eyes in the hand, right? So actually no, you could just summon the blue eyes with the true light and survive. So Tiger Shark is probably thinking right now how he plays the best around blue eyes, as well as like trap drill beam combination or something, I would assume. I mean, I would just go battle phase, like if he has a blue eyes in hand, summon your blue eyes and then you still just win, I think. Because like worst case you drill beam like a link 3 for malice, right? Like the field spell or something, but that's fine. I think this is just the easiest one. If he has blue eyes in hand, it would still be a little bit tricky, but I think it should be fine for malice. Because you wouldn't make link decoder, right? So that gives you like the extra body you need if you like. Yeah, so he just had true light alive without the trap. Ah, hello, Mr. Crowbat. I mean, this game is not 100% over because there could be a crow coming. Okay, the game is over. Unless there's Nip, because Nip beats the one card white rabbit combo. Like Nip here on West would be very strong. Yeah, I don't think there's a Nip in hand, so I think this game is over. Unless we get like Utopia double for game or something like this. Oh yeah, we banished the crypta itself so that the MTP goes back into the deck to get the interruption. In case anyone was wondering. Ryzel is a deck, yes. Yeah, that is like annoying thing, like you can have like your entire every extender and you get like hand trap very greedily and you still like just lose 2 malice. That's just how it always feels. So this is like the deciding game, right? So it's like 4 and 4 right now, I think. Unless I miscounted again, which I would have never done. I mean, Mace is full combo if there's no hand trap. There was hand trap. What deck is SKS playing? Is it like Ryzel? Then I think it's probably like a win over rating trade. Because Ryzel usually doesn't really play through all of that. Okay, this evenly is huge, but it doesn't do too much. Right? Like, it's pretty good, but it doesn't like end the game. Oh no, monster hand. So you couldn't. Never mind, guiding cameras with a fusion. It was just brain deck from my side. It actually looks good for Ryzen, I think, so we get into like a third match, I feel like. Like it's not like over, like Memento has multiple pushes, but Baguska is Baguska, you know? Like if there's like a Baguska, it's really hard to remove. Like your access code Torga gets checked by the trap, and the Baguska is just sitting there, right? It's like one of these games where you go in the follow-up turn, you normally like hand trap, make like Donna, and Donna destroys like the fusion guy or something like this, so or like the other guy to get into an Otica, right? It's like one of these really awkward games, basically, because the combined creation and SP comes back. But it's really hard to remove Baguska, right? No, fusion is not in the graveyard. It got banished face down, it got like reset and banished. With the fusion it would be a little bit easier. Because if you play like the Horned Dragon guy, then you can out the Baguska with it. Huh? We're not making Bagusi? That's odd for me. Like I think Baguska would have been just really good. I think Memento just wins now, no? Like this board is just whatever, I feel like. Like the Baguska would have been like very troublesome to deal with. Because it's like a monster negate and like a trap for access bot talker. I mean, Lancea is pretty good, not gonna lie, but I don't think it's enough. I'm not even sure if you're supposed to take out here. We have Duck, right? So we have Duck Charger, and we had like another follow-up. So Bigger Bonga just cooks, no? Wait, you can just make Zeus as well. I'm pretty sure this game is just over. Like, let's say you summon like Duck, right? And then like Duck effect. And then you just make Gabonga into Zeus, and it's like pretty scuffed. Like, you cannot just destroy like the Sleepy and the other thing, because then this guy just comes back and runs over everything. And you don't get a card draw, right? So you're always scared that your opponent is just summoning Gabonga into Zeus. I mean, here I would I even destroy this 30 cents like Gartic and something else? Maybe I would. I mean, at least there's like no fusion he can do, right? Well, he can, because he just shuffles it back. I feel like for Memento it's just over for Ryziel. He doesn't draw any cards and you don't even need to Otica, right? And just like a Duck Charger in the hand. So if you ever negate something, you get like 10 million. Okay, now just Kabonga time, right? No one would ever lose because of a Master Duel timer. Well, Spaguski would have done so much. Hey, that's not even a trap, right? So you can just go for Vortica. So he can just attack Sleepy, right? Because if he does like Duck Charger, change Sleepy, he just wins, I think. Like this is like the easiest way where you have 100% won the game. Access code cannot banish because of Lancea, right? So you cannot like destroy the cards there. I mean, the easiest thing in the world would be to just make like combined creation, like run over the detonator like twice, and then Light Charmer take it and make like a Zeus. Yeah, no problem. Like the turn is really long, right? So it happens. But why don't we use like the Duck Charger like at all? We have a graveyard effect of a spell we cannot use, but we still get like 2 materials detached from the detonator. I mean, Azalea is like another option, right? Which we can go into to remove stuff. Also, didn't we like just people if we make like the big fusion and just attack directly? So, or is there something stopping that? Oh yeah, there was something. Was it? No, it's enough names, I think. Just rebonding it. Yeah, so that was this game, right? I mean, but it's like hard winning always anyway. Yeah, you don't have to think too much. Wait, he had a Cold Bite and didn't use it. Yeah, he could have Lancet and Cold Bite. Maybe there would have been something great. But I feel like Memento was supposed to lose this one. Wait, Memento won because his opponent went in time limit? That's crazy. I think Red and Red won both. Right? Is it like over now? I'm not sure, but here we can see like the scores. So Jaws went 5-1 with Memento. And only Memento, I think. So that's crazy. Considering it's like deck 3, right? Yeah, he has like one of the best scores, right? He might be top 1 now after today. Oh, yes. But yeah, like the match seems to be over. I think it just was 2-0 for Rate and Trade. They won both sets 5-4 if I see it correctly. I think it's just over now. But I think the VOD will be uploaded to like T2 Trials YouTube or something like this very soon. So you can watch it like there. This was the other Rizel player, right? The P2, or was it with Stan? Sora was Melis, I think. So Melis ran 4-2 and 3-3. Rizel ran a bit under 50%. Memento performed well. Kastira didn't really seem to perform well. And Rose was okay. But yeah, since this is like over, I'm gonna head out. See ya.